Hello everybody of YouTube, it's DZ Maven here. Hey. So this is going to be part 3 of my Gunpla Building tutorial here. And in this part I'm going to be going over some assembly tips and tricks here, I guess I would call it here. Probably things we can cover is nubs, cutting your parts out from the sprue, nubs, and I want to talk a little bit about, probably just a little teeny bit about panel lining. I don't want to go into it entirely in this part here, since I kind of want to save it for the next part here, but so basically being in construction, you can usually always start out either with the torso and do the usual thing that the instruction book gives you here. Since I tend to review kits, I like to try and build the inner frame first and show that off, take a few pictures of it, and then continue with the rest of the build around that. So I will probably do the internal frame first, basically myself here, and then I'll probably show some of my tips and tricks for the outer armor and everything here, because that'll probably be more applicable, I would say. But to start things out here, I do want to point out that a lot of this internal frame part of the Master Grade Wing Gundam, I don't know if I can get it in the camera shot here. It might be a little tricky here because my camera's angled down, but I don't know if you can see that there. I can try to angle it this way here. As you can see right there, it says ABS. Most of the internal frame on this kit is made of ABS plastic, and if you watched my first video, you would know that you don't want to use these pouring type markers on ABS plastic here. So you're kind of wondering, is like, well, how bad can it be here? So I kind of want to do just a really basic demonstration here on a part of the runner that that's not actually going to be on the kit here. All right. So what I will probably do is I will cut a piece of this off here. Let's take like a rod of sprue here. Let me find a nice little straight piece here. Right here will do for demonstration purposes here. And let me take another piece here. That piece there. Okay. So what I want to try to do here is kind of demonstrate why you don't want to use the solvent-based the solvent-based Gundam marker with ABS plastic here. What I'm going to do here is, actually, you know what? Should I put it on the short piece or the long piece here? Let's go with the long piece here. I'm going to put it around here because we'll pretend there's a panel line in here around this little spot here that's on here. Let's go all the way around here. Let's say your panel line. Now the reason is that ABS plastic tends to bend rather than break. Polystyrene, the regular polystyrene, is a lot more brittle, and it's a little cheaper to use too, so that's why it's used for the outer body armor. ABS is tougher plastic and it tends to bend rather than break, so that's actually better for your internal frame. Because you kind of would rather have the pieces give a little bit rather than break when they're under stress inside the frame, especially for something like a hip joint or an arm joint in your Gunpla. Try bending this, see what happens. This should crack. Well, that's actually pretty tough there. It's not breaking, obviously. That's the way ABS is supposed to be. It's supposed to bend, not break. I can grab a piece of regular plastic here. Just to show you here. Let's take a section of the blue here. The blue is regular polystyrene. Take a piece that's about the same length there. And this should be more prone to breaking. Yeah, that broke pretty easily. This, even though I put the thinner on here, is holding together pretty well here. So even though I put the solvent on there, it's still holding together here. So it's got some resistance to it, but so yeah, pretty much my demonstrations of this on here really isn't working out very well. I did experiment with this a little bit beforehand. I tried it with this piece here earlier, and this ABS piece cracked when I tried bending it, but the H did not bend as much. Now I know I have a video somewhere around that I took a while ago, actually showing a real grade frame of a kit here, a spare one I had, and I applied some of the panel line marker to it, and it actually disintegrated and popped apart in real time on me. If I can find that, I'll go ahead and add that into the video here for you to show here. So. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's why I don't want to kind of use that. So for the internal frame stuff on this kit here, I'm going to have to instead use my panel line marker and not the... Where did I put my panel line markers? Well, there it is right there. Yeah. So instead of the pouring markers for this or an actual enamel paint wash, you might just make it safe and just use a panel line marker as best you can on here. There's a lot of weird spots in here. You can, as an alternative, do something like a ink wash using just drawing ink and some alcohol to thin it out with and some water. You can use that also. I've done that before on kits and it's perfectly fine. That gives you something of a paint wash without having to worry about using paint thinners and everything like that here. So let me see if, you know what, I'm probably just going to keep it simple here and put the frame together here, do a little bit of detail painting on it, and show you what the finished product will look like here. So I will be back when this is all done here. Okay. Alright, I am back. It is actually been about a day. I have the internal frame of the Wing Gundam mostly completed here. As you can see here, I even added a little bit of the backpack to it here. Now as you can see, looking at the head here, I have not put the eyes in yet. I don't know if you can tell in that video there. I did do a little bit of detailing of the hero UE figure. I don't know if I can get this open. Well, it's like this here because I can't really grab onto this piece here. But he's in there. You'll probably see it in my review video or my photo gallery when this is all done here. But anyway, this is all together now. So, but you'll see more pictures of this when I do my review here. But anyway, what I want to show you right now here is the clear pieces here, the eyes and everything here, sensors. This here is the head sensor unit, and we got this piece for the shield. And here's this little piece for the search eye that goes in the center of the torso here. What I want to show you here is how I put the sticker on for the eyes here. I thought about trying to paint this or not, and the shape of it on the back side is not really conducive for me putting any sort of reflective material on the back here because it's such a uneven shape on the back here, so I'm not going to bother trying to paint it. I'm just going to go ahead and put the sticker on there. That'll be a lot easier. So this is the foil sheet right here, right there. I'm going to be using the eyepiece right there here. So I still have it on the runner here. I could probably actually just take it off of here. Probably not a big deal. It's a little easier. Let me just clip that off real quick. I clipped some of it off a little bit already here. Get this little piece of snub off. Like that. And just make it a little flush there. Alright. Yeah. Put this sticker on. I usually use my little knife to try and pry them off. Just a little bit, make sure it's clean. And sometimes I'll try and go for the center of the eye, like that. Try and grab it at the center so I can line it up here. Usually you're not going to get this right on the first try here. You kind of have to play around with it a little bit here just to kind of get it on there straight here. In this case, the shape of this eye sensor has got a lot of different creases on it. There's this little piece that's sticking up kind of right in the middle is where that white is, right there. And you have to kind of fold the sticker around that. So it's not the best fit, but then you kind of just lay it down gently and try and make sure it's even. That's what I'm doing right now. You can usually push on it a little bit with your finger and kind of wiggle it a little bit around until it's kind of in the place where you want it to be, where it looks relatively centered up. This might take a moment here. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell because it's on a clear piece, so it's kind of hard to see exactly where the edges of the eyes are. So I think I got it on there relatively straight now. So what you want to do is grab a little toothpick here, and then you kind of want to then press it down into the creases around the eye here. In this case, yeah, there's a big crease right around that white part, because that part really sticks up out of the. It really sticks up pretty far. And it looks like that is pretty much on there. Looks straight to you? Okay. Okay, I'm back here. So a little update here. I think my marker is drying out. It's not really writing as well on here, and I keep testing it right here, and it keeps drying back out, and it keeps being kind of uneven on this piece here. It worked out fine with my Hyaku Shiki. I thought about buying another one, but it was fine when I was making the Hyaku Shiki Master Grade. But now apparently it's drying out on me again here, so I have a backup, some clear to my green. So I'm going to use this instead. Doesn't hurt to have a backup option. Just a little tad of this. I really don't need much of it because it. Actually, I'm going to see how this goes on here. Is it? It's not bad. Okay, yeah, we can go with that. This is a little bit more greener green anyway, so. So yeah, I think that probably looks a little bit better. And probably just for sake of being even here, I guess I'll go ahead and put a little dab on here too. There we go. Okay, I'm back for just kind of a little update here. I know what you're probably thinking. I was looking at this little round search eye sensor here. Now I am going to use the sticker for this because as I'm kind of looking at this, it kind of goes on this piece right here. So blue part here. I'm not really going to try to paint that because I'm not going to be able to create like a large enough even looking area for it. So I'll just go ahead and use the sticker because that'll be fine for this. The only thing I did was I did paint the back lip of the search eye piece here. I don't know if you can tell right there. Just with some more of that clear green here, just so that when you look at it from the front, it kind of has more of a, it kind of makes the whole clear piece look a little light green looking almost, so it kind of helps to tint it a little bit here. And I'll go ahead and use the sticker for this large area behind it, because the sticker does not cover the lip of this part here. That's why I did that here. So it fits on there. It should provide a nice little optical effect that should be pretty nice here. So there's a little update here. I kind of clipped this piece off, just let it dry on its own here, and I put the eyepieces on there right now, so it's probably going to stay that way while I'll take some pictures of it here. But anyway, that's basically what I have done for this part here. So yep, that's it. Alright everyone, back here, done a little bit more work here. So time to talk about part cutting and some basic assembly stuff, I guess. So anyway, I got the torso here. You can see it there in the light here. And basically, you're just going to kind of go through the assembly for this here. So I have kind of the part trees I need for it already kind of set aside here, and I got my nippers right here. So, let's see here. I kind of keep the booklet at the side here so I can kind of look at it as I'm working here. So let's say, for instance, I know we got torso parts on here. You can see here. So when you want to cut your nippers, you kind of want to be a little bit away from the part here. You can see it kind of like that right there. Kind of want to avoid being right up next to it. And we get this space here, and then it'll come right out. So you can see the nubs are still on there. I'm going to take those off in a moment here. I'm going to cut the rest of the parts out here. Okay, so what I got here is all of the armor parts for the torso here. So what I like to do is have a little box here, preferably a narrow one here. And then just kind of go through and start clipping the exterior nubs off here. So I'm gonna do this one kind of up close on camera here, but I just want to get up close and have this level and just take it off. Take it off. Normally I'll do this over my box here, so I'm kind of catching all the little plastic pieces here that come off here, so they're not going everywhere. So that's basically how it's done. Basically I have like 3 steps to this here. Cut the part out from the sprue tree, clip the nubs off with the nipper, and then I'm going to go back with my knife and clean it up a little bit here. And then there's actually a 4th step I do with colored parts here, which I'll show you here. So let me finish this up here, and then we'll move on to the next step here. Okay, so that part is all done here. So now I'm going to go through with my knife and kind of clean these up a little bit here. So now the nippers can do a pretty good job. At least those Gundam Planet ones do a pretty good job, I would say. But still, you kind of want to go back through and basically do another pass on here and smooth these out a little bit here, just so that there's no extra material kind of sticking up off of it on the part here. So I don't know if you can see there, the light's kind of a little away here, but there's a little bit of whitening right there, a little bit. just barely any bit right there. So I will see what I can do to do my little trick with the real touch markers and see if I can hide that a little bit here. So got my blue here. Let's see if we can fix this here. Right there. Basically just want to stain the part here a little bit. And I generally do this to about all the nubs on kits, especially on the colored exterior parts. And kind of want to have a Q-tip on hand, just kind of buff this stuff in. And that looks like it. Well, it'll work pretty well. So I don't know if you can tell, the whitening is kind of gone here. It's kind of hard to get the right angle here. But yeah, you can see there used to be some whitening there. Now it's pretty much gone. You can barely see it there now. There's the other side. Pretty much gone. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, that's a trick I tend to use to kind of hide the nubs, without having to go through the effort of trying to sand it and polish it, which is a lot of work. Basically just trying to smooth these out here. Like there's a very visible one on top of this piece right here, if you can tell, like there. Now some nubs are going to be on the inside edges of pieces here, and they won't be visible, so you won't have to like pay too much mind to them. See what I can do about this one. This trick isn't going to hide all the whitening nubs all the time. I find it tends to work about a little over half the time. It tends to work pretty well here, but the other half of the time just can't really hide. I don't think this one's going to hide completely here, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. Got rid of that one pretty good. So yeah, it's still there, just barely, but I mean it's for the most part it's not really noticeable anymore here. So that's pretty much what I try to aim for here. And again, do it for the red part here. The nubs on this one are kind of hidden there underneath the lip of this part here, so they're not really going to be visible anyway, so it's not really that important here. And you don't really get too much whitening on yellow pieces, but I mean I do have the yellow marker if I need to. And of course white parts aren't really going to have any whitening on them because they're white. So you don't have to worry about that too much here. So anyway, that's pretty much basically what it is with sprue cutting and the little trick I tend to use for trying to hide the nubs here. So maybe some people will find that useful and handy. Maybe not. I don't know. that's the method I tend to use here. So I hope you found that interesting here. So anyway, that's probably just gonna be it for this part of the video here. I'm gonna go ahead and do some more assembly here, cutting parts out, and the next part I'm gonna talk about some panel lining and basically some painting stuff here. So see you next time.